San Jose State has Donovan Yap has a dislocated toe. He's playing. Robert Viola's playing with a knee injury. They actually thought about not playing today, but I heard they were extra motivated to play against the rival, Fresno State. Also try to get some momentum on a winning side going into the tournament on Wednesday.
Viola loses the tap as Moore Sec gets the start here this afternoon for Fresno State. So Price, Crawford, Collins, Unique, and Sec, the starting five for Fresno State. And the three, a little bit too strong off the rim. The back tap is controlled by the Bulldogs. They'll get a second chance. The drive for Crawford, well contested by Viola.
And let's see how Yap moves. He's got that toe. Let's see if he has some issues moving around.
Yeah, Coach Miles was telling me that earlier this week they were so shorthanded they had to have the assistant coaches out there running in practice along with some of their players. Viola, no. So a couple of cracks at it for the Spartans, and they can't get it to go.
Yeah, and I did ask Coach, now that this game has no influence on the tournament, going into the Mountain West tournament on Wednesday, like why not just sit those guys? And he said again, they want to beat Fresno.
Yep, nice interior pass, but well defended by Fresno State. Uduje drives. Washington gives it up. San Jose State doing a nice job moving the ball around the outside. And the three for Uduje too strong. Last time these two teams met, double OT back on February 4th with the Spartans winning at 94-91. Both Uduje and Davis had 30-point games.
I believe it was like 20 years since we had last won in Fresno, something like that.
That is an absolute
huge
scud.
Win, crazy game, crazy ending.
Yeah.
But we'll take that victory.
A chance for the sweep. That would be good for the Spartans to build on going into the tournament. Viola underneath gets his own miss. A lot of contact. San Jose State wanting a whistle, none coming. And you wonder if the officials might be a little bit more reluctant to blow some whistles today, knowing how shorthanded the Bulldogs are. Yep, the three, that's too strong. Another offensive rebound for the Spartans. Viola loses the dribble and then nearly loses the basketball. Uduje able to hold on to it. Yep, drives down Broadway, and finally there are points on the board here, Mr. Spears.
Yeah, that's a good sign for Yap, although he did look like he winced a little bit on that toe on the way back.
Price. And going right through the defense and getting the first points of the game is Unique. Brian Amunique wasn't even supposed to play this year, Mark. The plan was for him to be a redshirt freshman, but because of all the injuries, they've had no choice but to dress him.
Yeah, the 18th youngest player in Division I basketball.
Won't be 19 until April, and Washington able to get it to go.
Yeah, it's good to get Washington going early. He's had some struggles offensively.
And Washington there was some question as of yesterday whether or not he'd be available today, but Coach Miles happy to have him in Collins. He can get it going. He's having a fantastic freshman year.
Yeah, Coach Miles expressed some worry about Collins. His dribble drives, keep an eye on that.
Yep, a little floater, and now suddenly everything going in.
Again, keep an eye on Yap, his movement. But the way Fresno's situated today, he could be easily aggressive going into the paint.
Price. And now the Bulldogs will reset. Collins tries to get past Uduje. Can't get it to drop, and here come the Spartans looking to push the pace. Washington in transition draws a whistle. And that foul on Unique, first whistle of the game, and that'll take us to the under-16 timeout.
Spartans got to stay aggressive, keep getting these fouls, take advantage of the Bulldogs roster issues.
Free throws upcoming after the timeout here in San Jose. Spartans holding on to a 2-point lead early. Back here in San Jose, Spartans with a 2-point lead. About to go to the free throw line to try to push it even further. And so far, Spartans doing a good job on the offensive glass. Mark, they already have 4 offensive rebounds.
I think it might be more of a victim of bad offense on both sides.
Yeah. Well, when there's a lot of offensive rebounds available, it means you're missing a lot of shots, obviously.
Yeah. But that's a good thing. San Jose needs to be aggressive. Keep being aggressive. Keep pushing it. Pushing. Because not only you want to get them in foul trouble, you want to get them fatigued.
Yeah, well, there you
There's
go.
only so many timeouts they can get help.
And Coach Vance Wahlberg, who's in his first year on the bench for Fresno State, he's just made a hockey line substitution here, Marcus. He's brought in his entire bench. Jashir Trimble has come into the game.
Is there a singular way to say bench?
I don't know. His one bench player, I suppose.
Does he kind of just like rotate them one at a time in and out or something? Or?
I don't know what the
Somebody's
plan is.
playing 40.
Yeah, it was we thought that Bongo was going to be available today, but he was a late scratch with an ankle, and Geneste is out because of religious obligations today. So that leaves them with just 6 players and, shorthanded already because of the gambling scandal that hit the university in January.
Yeah,
and that is a
really,
tough
really,
shot in traffic.
Really, really hard to play on Ramadan during the day. So certainly understanding of that.
Latrell Davis on the floor for the first time this afternoon. The 3 no good. Another near offensive rebound got batted away. And Collins got out in front of everybody. And the Bulldogs have knotted this thing up at 8.
Yeah, Collins is a guy to keep an eye on. Bulldogs' big offensive weapon.
Collins and Amunique.
He would have been offside if it was soccer. I don't know why he was at half court, but
well, we call that cherry picking, I believe, Mark. The corner 3 is good for Davis. And Latrell Davis trying to put the finishing touches on potentially being the 6th man of the year. And the Spartans already have the reigning 6th man of the year from last year on their season. Uduje won that last year.
One of 2 guys on the rosters from England.
Both he and Davis.
I guess that's our new pipeline is England, huh?
Yeah, that's the key. Come from England and win Mountain West Conference 6th man of the year. Joel Mariel.
Bad pass.
Yeah. He put it right down there for it to be taken away by Amunique. They get it right back to Amunique. That 3 no good. Mariel able to come up with the defensive board.
1 shot and out. Good defense by the Spartans.
Davis.
Not sure I love that shot.
Yeah, I didn't love the form on that shot.
See, and that's what happens when you take a bad shot like that. You could be susceptible to a fast break on the other end.
Yep, doing a great job hanging in the air and draws the foul. That'll be on Price. And Elijah Price having a great freshman year, and he's the one guy that when you talk to Fresno State, they said, hey, he's great when he doesn't get in foul trouble.
Yeah, no, he's a very interesting freshman from Long Beach. Killer on the glass, 8 rebounds a game.
Yeah, third in the NCAA amongst freshmen, leads the nation amongst freshmen in offensive boards.
Yeah.
And he
somebody keep an eye on for the future for sure.
Yeah, transferred from Drake last year where he redshirted.
But he's a guy that, Coach is certainly worried about in terms of foul trouble. And he causes fouls. He gets to the line, but he gets them too. So it's another guy that Spartans have to target.
He'll take a seat right now. In fact, he broke the Fresno State all-time record for freshmen of double-doubles in a freshman year, Mark. Wow. But Paul George had 6. That was the record. Price is up to 9 for the year.
Paul George only had 6.
Only 6.
I saw Paul George play here once and get a goaltending, blocking a shot on top of the box. Think about that. I was like, yeah, he's going to make it to the NBA. He blocked a shot, goaltended on top of the box.
I would have liked to have seen that.
Think about that.
The verticality to do that.
pre-leg injury with USA basketball.
Yeah, he's been pretty special for a long time. Fresno State, chance to knot it up or perhaps even go in front if they could get a three. Amuniki.
Nice steal.
Amunique, excuse me. The three, no good by Godarzi. Gets it right back, and then the extra pass into the corner for Davis. That won't fall, in and out.
Yeah, the Spartans have been a really good three-point shooting team this year. Slow start, but so they'll get better.
They average 9 makes a game. But in a statistical oddity, Mark, when they make 10 or more threes, they're only 3 and 6 on the year.
Huh.
Davis. Godarzi. That's too strong. And the Bulldogs come up with the rebound. Collins pulls the trigger and drills it. Look at this. Fresno State, with only 6 players, goes in front. Collins has 7 points.
Wow. 3 for 6 from the field. I think Rob didn't get those calls in the post. I like that. Stay aggressive. He could just keep feeding the big fella.
Viola's not usually looking to score. He does so many other things to impact the game. Rebounds, comes up with blocks. But
get that post scoring.
Yeah.
Get some foul trouble going.
Tremble the interior pass. Last touch by the Spartans. And that'll take us to the under 12 timeout. But all things considered, if you're a Fresno State Bulldog fan, you got to be pretty happy your team actually is hanging in there with only 6 players here in San Jose. Just a 1-point game as we are midway through the first. Back to Provident Credit Union Event Center after this quick timeout. One-point game as we approach the midpoint here of this first half in San Jose. Spartans just 1 of 8 from downtown. Part of the reason why they only have a 1-point lead as we sit here with 11:36 to go. Those shots, though, they've got some open looks. They're just not hitting them.
No, if you like three-point shooting, this isn't your game so far. I mean, by either team, it's a combined 2 for 14.
Tim Miles
the
right
Steph
in front
Curry
of us.
effect is not working here.
Tim Miles was just looking at the stat sheet.
He just crumpled it up.
Crumpled it up and shot it away.
Yeah. But I think the Spartans got to push it. We have my old point guard here, Alfonso De La Nuez, just walked up.
Oh, yeah?
To push it like he used to push it.
There you go. Alfonso.
His son is nice, too. Plays at Lehigh. Somebody San Jose State should recruit. I'm telling the coaches that. You could hear this later.
Collins will back it out.
Collins has been a problem.
Collins, great crossover, gets the floater, no, and here come the Spartans with some numbers. Davis.
Oh, why?
And Davis, a sloppy pass. The Spartans are lucky to retain possession.
Davis is looking at him like, no, that's your bad, dog. Lay the ball in there. People want to give away points nowadays. I'm confused by this.
Another look.
Oh, wait. I guess he should have cut. Washington could have cut better. Don't give up them 2 points, though.
Well, they're fortunate they retained the ball.
See, I don't like Rob being all the way out there. Keep pounding him on the inside.
Washington.
And that's why I'm not coaching. It worked.
Just the second made three
nice.
today. Washington, his first, leads all scorers with 7 for San Jose State.
And see, this is where San Jose's depth can pay dividends against Fresno. You got fresh bodies coming in. Fresno's going to start fatiguing as the game continues to go on.
And an open 3. Bulldogs haven't waved the flag yet. That is pure by Tremble.
Freshman.
37% from outside the arc on the season.
Just 5'10". They get a little small in the backcourt right now for Fresno, but certainly effective.
Fresno State, some great energy defensively, playing in that zone. And then Ganga able to drop down the 3.
Sounds they definitely could use that, get some momentum going. Up 4. Like I said, this is where you'll see the fatigue start setting in a little bit.
Price picks up the dribble. And Crawford, they're going to call the defensive foul. Crawford pushed off with his left arm, but he gets the benefit of the whistle going on the defense.
Spartans helping each other get into the game. 3 subs. So the Fresno guy checks in, who helps him up off the ground. It's kind of rough.
We'll keep an eye on that. We'll track that. Another whistle here going against the Spartans, and this will be on Latrell Davis. Excuse me, it's going to be on Sid Adrian Hall.
If I'm Fresno, I'm taking these like I'm going to do another soccer reference, like it's just a dead ball in soccer. Take your time, catch your breath. They got 6 guys. Milk it as much as possible to get you guys a breather. Nice steal.
Crawford has it knocked away. Great job going to the floor, and it creates an open rim for Aduje.
What a great defensive play. Way to get on the ground, young fella.
Hall, some great energy to come up with that. Price, the offensive rebound, and Ganga got a hand on it, but they're going to call the foul. Yeah, that whole here we go. Another look at the dunk for Aduje.
Just great awareness. Get the steal, track the ball down. Didn't get a jump ball. Got it to Aduje for the nice jam.
But going back to what you were saying about the soccer style, you know who the king of that was, right?
Who's that?
Jim Brown.
Oh, okay.
When Jim Brown played, he got up slow every single time.
Yes.
So guys wouldn't know whether or not they really rang his bell, because he got up slow if you barely touched him. He got up slow if you tackled him hard.
The way Jim Brown played, I wouldn't know. I would have figured it out after a while. He actually was out here several years ago. Had a lot of amazing kind of like plenary discussions. Jim Brown came by. It was him in a room with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and John Carlos, and I think was in there. It was either Tommy Smith as well. I didn't say nothing. I just let them talk.
Hey, that is a time when you want to have the ears open and the mouth shut. That's royalty right there. Price kind of hurried that shot. If you're San Jose State, I mean, this is the point of the game, I think, where you want to get some separation and take any thought of being able to have a unlikely win out of the minds of Fresno State. And nice job getting the bucket inside for Hall.
You know, Hall's tough, real tough, old school playground type game, and I love that. Love that aggressiveness.
Collins, and the rebound controlled by the Spartans.
Got to push it, keep pushing it, try to wear the Bulldogs down. You know, even in the half court when they're moving the ball, it just, you can still wear the Bulldogs down a little bit that way as well.
And Gonga can't get it to go. Unique, no. Davis quickly the other way. A lot of action, not a lot of buckets right now.
Want to cue some Benny Hill music, huh? Well, he makes this one.
Trimble finally able to end the chaos. Yeah, no doubt.
I don't know why you're walking up the ball. I'm pushing everything on this team, man. I'm telling you. Don't give them any breaks.
Hall loses the basketball. Nice little scoop pass to Price and an and one opportunity, and that's all set up by Trimble. Loving that little scoop pass.
Poor basketball IQ plays over the last couple minutes for San Jose.
And it's resulting in a tight one, just a 2-point game, under 8 to go here in San Jose. Back here in San Jose, Josh Aduje with the dunk, one of the highlights, but the Spartans have played not really on point here. They've been sloppy with the basketball and have really allowed Fresno State to hang in this game here.
Yeah, sloppy play, just not aggressive enough. Again, it's a team playing with 6 players. This is, you got to take advantage of this. They're giving Fresno layups. They're bailing them out. Got to be aggressive and push it against this team.
Final day of the regular season, final home game for San Jose State. And both these teams already know when they'll be playing in Vegas and who they'll be playing in the first round of the Mountain West Conference Tournament.
And the good thing about, well, sometimes we don't need 3 times to be a charm, right? San Jose State's beaten Wyoming twice. Play them Wednesday at 11 a.m. We need to beat them a 3rd time. And if the Spartans are healthy, I truly think they're capable of beating anybody in this league.
Winner of that game gets New Mexico, a team that San Jose State has played. They've beaten, and they could have beaten twice this year.
Now, was that win on the road?
I believe it was.
Yeah. You know, I'm not going to say this is the Tariq Abdul-Wahad 96 tournament team, but if I'm not mistaken, that team in 96, the last one from San Jose State to make it to the tournament, like, had a losing record going into the Mountain West Conference, and certainly got hot there before we played Kentucky and took pictures with the players after the game.
Kentucky went out to win the championship.
Yeah. Well, I guess they should have maybe taken those pictures.
Yeah. Jamal Mashburn on that team, I believe. Aduje got kind of bailed out, was underneath with the shot clock running low, and draws the whistle, heads to the free throw line.
And we need Aduje to be more aggressive. He's our best player. Can score in a variety of ways. The Englishman. Let's see if he picks it up some. Averaging 16 a game, but off to a slow start.
One thing I've noticed with Aduje is he kind of tends to pick things up as the game goes on. Duge up to 3 points for the afternoon. Crawford, open look for three to tie it. Will not drop. Duge.
Nice look.
Mario unable to come up with the rebound, and here come the Bulldogs again. Chance to get it to one or tie it. Tremble from the free throw line gets it to a 1 point game.
How tall is Mario?
Mario is 7'2".
You got to block that, man. Come on.
You also got to get that rebound on the other end.
Let them know you're 7'2".
Mario, who was honored before the game, is one of the 4 seniors on this San Jose State roster. Yap for three, and Spartans needed that to go, and they do get it. Fourth made triple of the game for San Jose.
So Robert Valo is one of the guys coming in. He certainly looked winded. He's taking some time off due to injury. Let's see if he is able to pick it back up after getting that rest.
Crawford hangs and hits.
Fresno starting to get their offense rolling. They look real comfortable right now.
Great anticipation by Tremble as he comes up with the steal.
Another bad turnover. Wide open three.
Collins too strong. Crawford has the rebound knocked away, but the Bulldogs hang on to it. A little scoop pass back to Crawford for the jam. And Tim Miles wants to talk it over as Fresno State has tied it up at 28.
Yeah, they need that timeout. Just better effort to rebounds, better effort to loose balls. Hey, Fresno State, man, really showing some courage, some guts, some grit, trying to win in this rivalry.
5 minutes to go here in the half, not at a 28, and I don't think that anybody saw it coming up this way when we realized Fresno State was only going to be dressing 6.
No, and this also helps Fresno right now because now you give them a rest.
Well, there's that, and Mark, the other thing is, we said they can't get in foul trouble. Fresno State's been called for 3 personals so far in this game.
So now how many threes have the Spartans taken?
Spartans have taken 13 threes.
We need to go inside.
They're 4 of 13. You're right. They've only shot.
Whether it's a drive, now Rob Valo's back in the game. Should make a concerted effort to give him the ball in the post. Let him work on some of their big guys. Another questionable pass.
Yeah, they flirted with a turnover there. Yap.
This is what I'm talking about. Take your time. Foul. No foul call.
No whistle. San Jose State bench going nuts at no whistle, but the offensive rebound and put back up and in by Ngonga.
Keep with that aggressiveness. Well, I mean, what are they going to do? At some point, the refs are going to start blowing their whistle. Keep being aggressive.
Unique misses everything.
Somebody left the door open, huh?
Yep. With the high dribble and the finish.
We'll take it.
Yep, goes into double figures.
But he could have got a foul call there if he went into his body. See, I'm baiting for fouls over here, man.
Well, it's contagious because everybody on the bench sitting to the left of us is as well. And there'll be a whistle here. Viola's going to get called for the contact on Collins. And that's going to take us to the under 4 timeout. And 4 being an operative number, that is the margin right now. See the finish there? Yeah, there very well could have been an and one opportunity, but Spartans holding on to a 4-point lead. Free throws upcoming after this timeout from San Jose. Back here in San Jose, Dave Benz, Hall of Famer Mark Spears, and another Hall of Famer going to be joining you in Springfield, Massachusetts, coming up this summer.
How many Mountain West schools could say they had two Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Famers?
Well, writer Michelle Smith is going to be honored with the Kirk Gowdy Award, and that is
received in 2023.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Neither one of us made one basket in the NBA, but we got two journalists in the Hall of Fame. That's really cool. I'm excited for. I'm gonna talk to her about her how to do the speech before. They're on your tail about the speech now.
Now, will you
gotta
go?
Yeah, I go every year.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a little different when you're a member now. When you go.
Right, you're getting invited to all the stuff behind the velvet rope.
Yeah, there was a pregame ceremony last year for the Hall of Fame, and some guy tried to stop me going in the room, and someone said, "No, he's in the Hall of Fame. He could go in." I was like, "That's right. Let me go."
They don't give you a special card. You don't get a.
Let me go get a snack next to our artist Gilmore. You know.
That's awesome. By the way, that was a nice baseline out of bounds play executed by the Bulldogs out of the timeout.
Good out of timeout execution.
Hall gives it up for Duge. Duge cuts into the paint, and that shot partially blocked. And here come the Bulldogs. Chance to tie it or go in front, as improbable as that may be. Unique. Step back three for the lead. And he just, man, that looked, from the angle I saw, I thought that was going to go down.
That was bad. You need a better angle.
Well, I got blocked out by Tim Miles standing right in front of me.
Again, let's see if he gets a foul right here. Nice move.
They have swallowed the whistle on that end of the floor. Viola, though, able to get the bucket.
Keep feeding the big fella. He's hungry.
4 points now in the game for Viola. Collins looked like he shuffled his feet. No whistle. Tremble,
nice
a little bit
rebound.
offline.
Push it. Why are you walking it up? Push it.
San Jose State dominating the glass here, 21-14.
Oh, lay that up.
Duge.
Kind of bailed him out right there.
Great pass into the corner for the three.
We'll take the three.
Second triple of the game for Yap.
He's having a good game. One of the Spartans has actually had a strong start offensively.
And Vance Wahlberg wants a timeout as the Spartans have opened up a 7-point lead, their largest of the game. And
yeah,
Spartans,
13 points.
Mark, they have tried to get it inside. They haven't gotten any whistles, so they're like, all right, let's go back to shooting threes and knocking them down.
No, but Spartans need to go back on the inside. At some point, the ref's going to start calling them. You got to put some pressure on Fresno State. But, hey, man, let's give Yap some credit. He's off to a great start. 5 or 7 on the field, 2 threes, got into the line, 3 rebounds. Really making an impact, and which is impressive considering he's playing on a dislocated toe. So, way to show some toughness.
Yeah, he dislocated that toe about 10 days ago here at UNLV. We
Stepping
called that
on
game.
Foot, right?
Huh?
Stepping on a UNLV player's foot.
I don't even know if he stepped on anybody's foot. If I recall, it was one of those injuries where he was kind of by himself. I think he just kind of took a bad step.
That doesn't sound fun to deal with.
No, a dislocated toe doesn't sound like a big deal until you have one. Crawford can't get it to go. Offensive rebound and a second chance bucket. Well, Sek did a good job of tapping that over to Unique for the bucket.
Yeah. Coach told the bench to make sure they show that during halftime. No boxing out. 3 guys. Watch the player get an offensive rebound and score.
Well, and the other thing, Mark, as there is an assist on that bucket, that's only the 6th assist that the Spartans have in this first half. On 14 makes. Collins. And Munique gets tied up by Davis. That will be a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Spartans.
Are you a possession arrow guy?
No.
I'm not either.
No, I like, let's jump it up, man.
Let's do it. That's one of two changes I make in college basketball.
And the other one is advance the ball after the timeout.
No, I do 24-second shot clock.
Oh, that would be nice as well.
To me, college basketball scoring is way too low. Speed it up.
I also don't like that you can call timeout after you score.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Going to be a foul here on Zach Collins. It's going to be first of the game on Collins, fourth team foul on the Bulldogs. So they've done a great job of defending without fouling.
Got a nice contingent of Fresno State people behind us, too. Showed out.
Spartans pulled the trigger a little bit early. If you're going to do that, you better hit it. And Yep does. Bulldogs, Tremble hangs and hits. So, all things considered, it's a net positive of 1 in that exchange as you get the 3, but you took that 3 a little bit early. Nonetheless, going into the lines, Mark Spears, the Hall of Famer, as we get ready to begin this second half of what is a shorthanded affair for the Fresno State Bulldogs. They only dressed 6 players. 9 would be amazing. They dressed 6 here today, and yet they hung around in most of that first half. As we mentioned at halftime, that last bucket by Tremble did not beat the buzzer. They initially counted it before the break, but then they wiped it away. So a 10-point game as we start the second half. Collins.
What a difference the last 4 minutes of the first half made. Let's see if the Spartans can continue that momentum.
Crawford a little bit too strong off the glass. Yep comes out of there with it. Looking to continue what's been a great afternoon for him. Gives it up for Washington. The 3, no. And well rebounded by Price. Collins able to shed the defense, but unable to get it to drop. Somehow takes the ball right back. Took it out of the hands of Hall and lays it in.
No words for that. I was going on and on about how much a tough guy Hall was, and then he got his cookies taken from him.
Duge back to Yap.
See how they're in this zone.
Yep, goes around the screen from Viola. Leans in, gets it to drop. So Yep's fantastic afternoon continues.
Spartan showed a little patience in that zone. Got a mid-range jumper, which is not an easy thing to do in the zone, right? So that was good ball movement.
That
push
shot
it.
Well strong.
Spartans got to push it, fatigue them.
Yep's 18 points, only 4 off of his season high mark.
No, I think he's going to get it today.
Duge, little Euro step to get free for the bucket.
Now, if the Spartans could get him going, that's going to bode well. Oh!
Viola comes up with the block and the foul.
How many fouls does Fresno State have? I'm just curious.
Fresno State
and I'm not a beat up the ref guy, but I'm just curious.
Fresno State's been called for 4 fouls.
And San Jose?
San Jose State, that's their first of the second half. I don't know if they've updated this yet, but 7, it's either 7 or 8 for the game. I could tell you officially.
I'd like to see a replay on that last one.
Yes, 7 for the game for San Jose State. So
it looks like a good block from back.
So listen, they've swallowed the whistle on both ends, right? If you're going to swallow the whistle, you got to do it on both sides.
Hey,
yeah, a little bit of body.
Not enough.
Huh. Sek, 7'1".
Well, then that's a good foul then.
Yeah, well, Sek's 64% on the season, and the Spartans just giving it away right there. Tremble says thank you very much.
Seen some really bad turnovers by the Spartans today.
They haven't turned it over a ton.
No.
It feels like more. That's only their
Just
sixth of the game.
Impatient passes, no reason to be.
Hall gets stripped of the basketball. There's another turnover. Knocked out of bounds, last touch by the Bulldogs.
What Spartans don't want to do is give Fresno State some confidence, give them a boost of energy.
Make them think that they could pull this off.
You know, I see Viola's wind's not the greatest. Before he gets a break, I try to get it down in the post to him right now, see if somebody from Fresno can get a foul. It's just a lot of perimeter right now.
Washington floater won't drop. Price with the rebound. Sixth board of the game for Price. On the other end, the finish by Collins, who was looking for a whistle, won't get it.
And just like that, confidence starting to bruise, fatigue goes away a little bit.
Still an 8-point margin, but you want to push it back up into double digits here if you're the Spartans.
Oh.
Near turnover. A Duge for Viola underneath.
Just shoot it.
A Duge for three. First triple of the game for Duge.
You know, I like how the refs handle that. Usually they'll give a foul to somebody there. I like how they just calmly let them untangle themselves and move forward.
Yeah.
I like that.
I feel like they're coming over and talking to the table, though, so I'm not sure what that's
it's a physical
about.
game. That happens sometimes.
Yes, it does. Well, our officiating crew, Michael Irving, Nate Harris, and Mike Littlewood. I think that they, listen, Collins was looking for a foul on that end, and that's the thing, Mark. They're not calling fouls on either side, so
maybe they're trying to get the original Joes. They got a reservation at 4 or something. Good steak sandwiches there.
4 might be a little tough to make.
Yeah. Not if you're not calling fouls. They'd still have to be in their ref
We are getting
uniform,
a whistle here, though.
Okay.
Or is this did they stop it for a clock issue? I haven't seen them put up a signal for a foul. I think this is a clock issue. Because now the clock on above the scoreboard on the end where the players are right now, it's been flashing on and off. Now it's back on. Collins draws a double team and then throws
Nails
it away.
the cheerleader. She all right?
Sixth turnover of the game for the Bulldogs.
She's tough. She's all right. She's like, let's go.
So I work with this after-school youth program, Mark, and I coach basketball a couple days a week.
Okay.
And it's a bunch of kindergartners and first graders. Washington, no. And offensive rebound for the Spartans. And the other day, I think it was Thursday, I'm standing underneath the rim. It's like a 7 or 8 foot rim for these little kids.
Oh.
Foul here as Yap will go to the free throw line. And Yap a little bit slow to get up. He fell a little bit awkwardly. And his teammates are looking at him right now. And he finally does get up.
He's all right.
So he'll have free throws upcoming. And I'll finish that story on the other side of this timeout as we've hit the media timeout. 15:34 to go here in San Jose. Spartans with an 11-point lead. Well, it's senior day here in San Jose. Donovan Yaps and Adrian Hall, Josh Aduje, and Joel Mariol all honored before the game by the Spartans. And always a bittersweet day for players knowing that they're playing on their home court for the final time, Mark.
Well, I do think it's different in today's day and age, right? You got so many transfers. It's like, I just met you and now you're leaving. It's the people that were behind them, the managers that have been here for a long time, right?
Yeah.
I just wonder, like, these records in college basketball, right? These scoring records, these big records, they're not going to be broken anymore because of the wave of change.
Nobody's going to stick around, right?
If you have a scoring record, assists, you're good.
Yep. Sitting on 18, making 19 for the game. So I left you hanging, just finished. So a 7-foot rim. I was standing underneath the basket, and a kid takes it.
Dunk it?
And I don't know, maybe.
Right.
But probably I could dunk on a 7-foot rim. The ball came off the rim and smacked me right in the nose, and all the kids saw it. So I had to just sit there,
and they laughed.
It hurt like hell, but I acted like it didn't, like it was nothing.
Did they laugh?
Yeah, they laughed. Okay. They're like, "Oh, coach just took it."
Yeah. Well, they probably liked you a little bit more after that.
Collins reverses direction. Trying for an oop connection. No, and here come the Spartans yet again. Washington open for three. Great extra pass by Davis to set Washington up for that triple. Foul here on the other end as the Bulldogs get it up at the court in a hurry.
You know, the Spartans are shooting 7 for 8. Was it 8 for 19 from 3?
They started 1 of 8, Mark.
Yeah.
So they're 7 of their last 11.
It's not bad. That's borderline heat check right there, right? For 3.
Well, I told you the record. When they make 10 or more, they're just 3 and 6. I got a feeling they're going to add to the 3 portion today.
Yeah. Sub coming in for Fresno, the 1 sub.
Unique will come in as Price has it rattle out.
Fresno's a little smaller right now.
Yeah, Morsek checks out. So Fresno, their tallest player right now is Price at 6'9". How about this? Trying to put on a little bit of a press with the short bench.
Thanks, coach. Right?
I think Vance Wahlberg feeling like, all right, we got one last shot to maybe try and make this a game, and they break the press for the dunk for Viola.
Yeah, they might get out of that.
Yeah.
Somebody from the bench said that's Robert's first ever dunk. Yeah, I didn't
Can
think
that be?
I mean, what's this, his second year, right? He was hurt last year.
Viola did sit out all last year. He's actually a junior.
It can't be. I think I've seen him.
But he did. He transferred from Fresno State as well, by the way, Mark. So another guy with some history with the Bulldogs. So we'll get a whistle here at midcourt. Here's a look back at Viola.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4. Come on, Big Bella, rip it down. Bend your knees. Well, he does have a knee issue right now, so I get it.
Washington just comes out, and he was looking a little bit hobbled there as he was coming off. San Jose State, they've got the least amount of time of anybody in the Mountain West, aside from Wyoming, to get ready for the tournament. They will play the very first game of the tournament, Mark. Their 11 a.m. start on Wednesday is the first game of the entire tournament.
I think when I was in junior college at Foothill College in Los Altos, we played in a tournament game at 11 a.m. once. We were awful. There was a guy named Sam Crawford who ended up playing at New Mexico State. He gave us 40 feet. 11 a.m. is tricky. And in Vegas? Well, I don't expect it. Well, it's not like me and you. They're not going to be out in Vegas, right? At least I hope not.
Well, I talked to Tim Miles about being in Vegas for the tournament. And he's like, "Oh yeah, there's challenges."
So when they get there, they got to get there Monday then.
Well, if they're playing Wednesday morning, I would think probably
Yeah.
they probably do. They probably fly out Monday afternoon, get there Monday evening,
Yeah.
practice Tuesday, and good to go on Wednesday. And hope you're staying more than Wednesday.
Is it Thomas and Mack?
It is the Thomas and Mack.
When we get to host one? Why can't we have it at San Jose Arena?
Something tells me they like being in Vegas, Mark. Davis, the pass for Viola, and he'll go to the free throw line. Whistle here will be on Munich.
I feel like Robert's wind's getting a little better. Second half, he looks more comfortable.
Second foul on Munich.
Got to make that. Look at him.
Viola has not been to the free throw line a ton. In fact, that was exactly his 100th free throw of the season. And this is 28th game of the season.
So this is, correct me if I'm wrong, Spartans, is this the biggest lead right now in the game?
Their biggest lead of the game has been 57-41, which is exactly where we are right now. Tremble for three. Tell you what, this game,
I was going to say, this is the time to impose the will. And then,
this game has more of a feel of an early season, it doesn't feel like a hotly contested conference showdown with Fresno State being so shorthanded.
But you know what? Fresno State has a reputation of fighting. This is a team that has dealt with a lot of adversity this year, obviously, crazy adversity, losing a couple players. Now you see them down to 6 players today. But they're fighting, man.
Well,
I typically don't like to give compliments to Fresno State. It's per requirement of being a San Jose State student or grad. We're not supposed to say nice things about them. In terms of
technically we're the Mountain West broadcast, so we can say nice things about Fresno State. I know that's hard for you, though.
It's hard for me. I'm not going to lie. But I am impressed with their fight. I'm respecting their fight.
And listen, Vance Wahlberg has had he's had a tough deck to play this season with all the injuries and the allegations.
What a tough first season. Huh?
Yeah, a really tough first season. Davis able to get it through the pressure and then fouled at midcourt. And that foul is going to be on Crawford. Second of the game on Crawford.
Fresno State, 4 guys with 2 fouls, huh? This is where it gets interesting right now.
I kind of want to see somebody foul out just to see what that looks like. I want to see 2 people foul out, to be honest, but a couple of good looks at it for the Bulldogs.
Right,
they can't get it to go. Viola
takes it up like a point guard. I see a big fella bring it up.
Don't see that very often.
You got rid of it at half court, though. That looks smooth.
The 3 by Davis, no good. Viola follows his own miss and then gets a whistle. That'll be 3 on Price. And Viola's going to go to the free throw line, but that takes us to the under 12 timeout. So Fresno State, the lead is 11. They'll try to push it further on the other side of this break as we are closing in on perhaps another Spartans victory here in Mountain West Conference play. Back to San Jose in a moment. Latrell Davis and the Spartans right now an 11-point lead, but Fresno State hanging tough right now. They've shaved 5 points off of what was a 16-point margin.
Well, we'll get to the free throw line right here.
And, you know, we talk about Latrell Davis, Mark, coming in as perhaps the leading candidate for Mountain West Conference Sixth Man of the Year. And then talking to Tim Miles yesterday, it's something that's important for Tim to see Latrell accomplish. And right now, the numbers, he's got an edge over Javon Buchanan of Boise State. And Buchanan really probably the only other serious candidate to be able to win that award.
I mean, it looks pretty clear. I'm biased, but, I mean, this guy not averaging over 10 points.
I mean, the only other thing you can look at is the record, right? That's, you know, do you take a look at Buchanan?
I'm biased, no.
Boise State's 22-9.
So it's not even averaging 10 points. Come on now. You can't be six man and not average double digits.
I'm just trying to be unbiased.
Boise, you on the Boise payroll right now?
I'm being unbiased, man. I think that Davis should win it. But by the way, you and I were talking before the game, as Viola able to push the lead here back to 13, about the fact that it is a little bit uncanny that both Latrell Davis and Josh Aduje are natives of the UK. And, you know, I've shared this before, but not everybody shared this. Viola with the block. And does a great job of coming away with the basketball on top of it. Davis, he's a huge Kevin Durant fan, and he credits KD really. Oh! How about that? Davis puts that one in the assist column, setting up Aduje on the doorstep. KD would be impressed by that. Tremble off the dribble, gets it to go.
Tell your story, though. This is a good story.
But KD was kind enough to spend some time when Latrell Davis was living in the UK, and in 2012, the Summer Olympics were there. He was able to get to one of the Team USA practices, and he met KD, and KD spent a little time with him, and you know, really kind of lit the fuse for Latrell Davis to love basketball and follow his passion. And Mark, that works perfectly with what you just wrote about this week.
Yeah, no, I had a story in the ESPN Landscape about Kevin Durant's, you know, feeling like an OG and unk now. Some of the guys are calling him that he's not comfortable with, especially Anthony Edwards calling him that. But he's mentored guys for years. Anthony Edwards. There's a big-time prep basketball player right now, A.J. DeBansa. That's a guy in his Rolodex that he's helping.
Oh, how about that find? Davis was in trouble, and he finds Hall underneath for the dunk.
And also Ryan Dunn plays for the Suns. Rookie, his brother is on the White Sox. So KD, who's like 14 years older than this rookie, went to this minor league baseball game on Wednesday with Ryan Dunn to watch his brother to mentor and show friendship.
I mean, KD has given so much to the game, and his impact will be felt for years to come, even after he retires.
Great guy, too, man. I know he could be a little mercurial on social media, but having covered him, been around him a lot with the Warriors, and always good cat, man. And I don't know that anybody that I've seen in 26 years of covering the NBA that scores easier than him. Like, if he misses, it's because he missed.
Right.
You didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They call him easy money sniper for a reason, man.
Well, and you think about, I mean, Mark, how much more startling would his numbers be if he didn't have the Jones fracture and have to fight through all those things? I mean, his career is obviously going to end where you are in Springfield, but it's just been
He'll be
amazing.
He'll be in a different wing, though.
Yes, yes, he will. And he won't need to be told who he is when he's trying to go behind the velvet rope.
Right.
Great job working the ball around it. Yeah, for the open three.
Now it's key for the Spartans to play some defense. Get Fresno State to lose some confidence. Try to push this lead to 20.
Yeah, that three for Yep,
by the way. The alley-oop was to one of the cheerleaders. I don't know who that was for.
That is a season high for Yep, by the way, with the 23 now. I got to check and see if that's
nice senior day, huh?
Yeah, I got to see what his career high is.
I think you mentioned it earlier. I think he passed it.
No, the 22 was the season high. I don't know if it was the career high, but I will have that for you momentarily. Well, they don't have the career highs on the page here. They only have the season highs.
Well, he's only been here one season.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying it could be his career high in
Oh, you're
college
talking about,
basketball.
okay, everywhere. Yeah. Oh, he's having an outstanding day. Memorable senior day, for sure.
Washington draws a whistle. They'll get it on Amunique. That's the fourth on Amunique.
That's the guy that we were warned about getting foul trouble.
He and Price. Price is on the bench right now with 3. He's about to come back in. So Price in, Amunique out. As the Spartans, they knock these both down, they can have their largest lead of the afternoon. So 1-1 here for Washington. In spite of the record, they are still very high on Vance Wahlberg and what he can do at Fresno State, Mark. And I know he's got a great supporting cast on the bench with him, specifically John Welch, who has some NBA experience. By the way, Vance has some NBA experience as well. He was on Brett Brown's staff in Philadelphia during the process. Not necessarily a great time to be in Philly, but
he's had a couple NBA stops. And John Welsh, I mean, me and you were in Denver a lot at the same time. He used to be a Nuggets assistant while I was covering the Nuggets. And there was this guy in the early 2000s, around 2004 or so, named Jamal Mosley, who was debating whether or not to play overseas still or try to coach. He didn't know what to do. He was sleeping on his friend's couch in Denver. And Coach Welch actually had recruited Coach Mosley and remembered him and told him to come to the Pepsi Center and work out with Mello and J.R. Smith and Kenyon. And then eventually Coach Mosley had to decide, do I want to continue to do this or do I want to go play overseas? He quits playing overseas and becomes an assistant with the Nuggets, and now years later he's a head coach with the Orlando Magic. So Coach Welch had a lot to do with that.
They're going to call a goaltend here. And the officials are going over to talk to the table. I don't know if they're going to take another look at this, but stoppage right now is they are over there looking at the monitor. With 9:02 to go. Take another look. Did that hit the glass first?
Yeah,
I
think so.
I need one more look at it. It was so bang bang. It was definitely still on the way up. It's whether or not it hit the glass first. One more look. That angle's not gonna. We're not gonna see it.
Let's go back to that first one.
Well,
they counted it.
They did. So they said it hit the glass first. So. And there was a whistle on top of that, so it's a chance for a three-point play. The foul was on Yap. And Mark, that's the fourth foul on the game for Yap. So that's about to,
that's a quietly big loss.
Yeah.
I didn't see those fouls creeping up on him.
Neither did I. So he'll head to the bench. And Tremble cannot complete the three-point play.
So if you're San Jose State, it's not quite time to go into burn clock mode.
But it is take care of the basketball mode. Because really the only way Fresno State can get back in this game right now is if you help them.
And we're helping.
Get a reach-in foul here.
We're helping.
Mariel.
Spartans foul charge number 15, Sean Mariel, first personal.
Spartans are over the limit, so.
And you're stopping the clock. You're giving them some rest.
Yep, 1-1 here for Price.
In an odd way, sometimes after you have the first half and you play that hard, and sometimes you have a little bit more energy in the second half, right? Your body's moving, it's warm, it's going. The truck is moving down the street. Right? The gas is going through, so little breaks here and there help.
Although I think
Spartans aren't helping themselves right now.
It doesn't take quite as long to get the bus going when you're in your early 20s as it does for us.
Oh, no, that's the diesel, baby, now. Takes a long time. It's like when you push the app on your European car, you push that app to start it up and warm it up early, man. That expensive car you got.
Well, that came in handy when I was in Minnesota, man. The second that plane touched down on the ground on road trips,
Boom.
we were all starting our cars.
Another almost bad turnover here.
Instead, it's going to be a foul by Price. That's his fourth. So now you got Price with 4 fouls and Unique on the bench with 4 fouls.
Who do you consider the point guard of this team? Is there a real point guard on this team?
I mean, I suppose it's Yap, but that is a great question.
That person needs to step up right now.
But Yap's on the bench with 4 fouls.
Yeah, there's got to be. There's nobody else. Huh?
I think it's going to be Aduje. You're going to put the ball in Aduje's hands. And Aduje knocks down the free throw. He goes into double figures. Spartans 13 of 16 at the free throw line. Price stays in with the 4 personals.
2 Fresno players with 4.
Collins, little floater inside.
Over a 7'2". We got to contest that.
You're not wrong.
He's quick, though. Sounds like State used to have a guard named Terry Cannon who was quick like that. Could never block the shot. He was actually here the last home game, sitting courtside.
Davis. Nice interior pass. Aduje gets blocked from behind. Collins hangs, and that'll be a goaltend as Aduje got there too late. And that takes us to the under 8 timeout. Put 2 more on the board for Fresno State. Collins doing his best to try to keep his team in it. He's up to 15. And the Spartans lead is down to 12 here in San Jose. Back here in San Jose, the Spartans looking to get to 7-11 in conference play. And again, we already know that they will be playing Wyoming on Wednesday morning, 11 a.m. Pacific, in the very first game of the Mountain West Conference tournament to open up the tournament. And Fresno State, meantime, they will be taking on Nevada in that first round of the Mountain West Conference tournament. That game around 2:30 on Wednesday.
So after we win, who do we play?
New Mexico.
Who we beat? So if we beat those 2 guys again.
Before the timeout stands as called.
Continue. What did the ref tell you?
Yeah, he said that before the timeout, the call is going to stand. So I don't remember what the call was before the timeout.
It was goaltending.
Oh, there you go. All right. Thank you. Doesn't this game have a feel of like an early November game against Bethesda?
No, because Fresno's good. They just
Fresno's
don't
good,
have
but they
depth.
got 6 guys.
Bethesda had 15 guys, and it seemed like didn't have any.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Respectfully.
Davis, who's been very quiet here. Washington out of the corner, no. And the Bulldogs come up with the rebound. Munique on the floor with 4 personals.
I've never been this complimentary to Fresno State in my life.
Trumbull out of the corner. Viola with the rebound.
Push it.
Fresno State 4 of 14 from outside the arc.
Push it.
Davis goes behind the back, has it taken away by Collins.
Yeah, Yap needs to get back in.
Yep, ready to check in with the 4 fouls. Washington out in front gets the finish. And a timeout will be taken here as the Spartans push it back to a 14-point margin. Yeah, Mark, you were talking about that 96 team going to the tournament. And this San Jose State team getting a little bit of a warm-up going into Las Vegas. They've got it back to a 14-point lead here on their home floor. Well, tomorrow on the Mountain West Network and NBC Sports Bay Area, the San Jose State women's gymnastics team plays their final home match of the season, but not really. That's a little bit not disingenuous to say because San Jose State does get to host the Mountain West Conference Tournament for women's gymnastics here in a couple of weeks. So,
all right.
So they do get to get in on that, but you can catch that right here on NBC Sports Bay Area, and you want to come back and call that one with me?
Only if you participate.
I am. You mean if I actually get
like
up?
if you could do one, if you had to do one in gymnastics, what would you do? Like, where would you survive the best?
I would walk the balance beam.
Walk?
I'd probably fall off, but I'd walk the balance
You wouldn't do the rings?
I couldn't do the vault. Oh, you're talking about front? Yeah. The rings, nah.
Nah.
Not with my bad shoulder. I got 2 partially torn tendons in my rotator cuff. I don't think I could do the rings.
Knees not good either?
Knees are not amazing. Being 55 is not,
so you're calling that?
Not easy on you. Yeah, I'm calling that.
How do you call gymnastics? That's tough. You're talented, man.
Thank you.
What's the most obscure sport?
I mean, I've called poker and watercross, which is jet ski racing.
Watercross?
Yeah, jet ski racing. And you know I'm the voice of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships every year.
Okay.
So, which is nice. I get to go to Naples, Florida for a week every year at the end of April.
It's pretty hot outside, though, right?
It does get hot, but the sunsets are amazing.
Huh.
Price unable to cash in at the free throw line.
The weirdest sport I ever had to cover in my early years was cutting horse.
What is it?
Cutting horse.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like you have like, and for the cutting horse experts, if I mess it up, please send your tweets and stuff. But you're on a horse, right? And you have to move the cattle to a certain area.
Okay. So it's kind of like a rodeo event.
But it's cutting, like you're using your horse to cut the cattle and get them into an area faster than anybody else does.
Did
Cutting
you,
horse.
were you? Did you?
I was not an expert.
No,
First time I ever saw it.
Did you find it appealing?
No. I did not. But I would like to go see a rodeo. But I will say, for the journalism students, the savior when you don't know a sport, write a feature story. I wrote a feature story and it saved me.
Because then everybody loved you.
No, I mean, yeah, and then I didn't have to explain what happened. I just gave the score.
There you go.
Yeah. San Jose State education, baby.
Well, and the key to calling
Shout out to the journalism
the key to
program.
calling something like that, Mark, is just set up your analyst and get out of the way.
You got a dunk here.
Hey! Great outlet pass to set him up for the jam.
Is that enough? We got enough? We need more?
Well, up 17.
Spartans foul charge number 9, Josh Aduje.
Aduje called for a foul after the dunk.
Team foul.
They let him swing on the rims now. I love it. That'd be a tech back in my day.
Right,
Back in my day.
As long as it's
That'd
not
be a tech.
totally egregious.
That was a tech. Back in my day 5 years ago. Maybe it was longer than that.
5 years ago?
A little longer than that.
Collins unable to hit the first.
Yeah, you couldn't even look at the rim back then without getting a tech.
Yeah, I don't know what that's like. My days of dunking the basketball peaked in about 9th grade when I could dunk a volleyball. That's about it.
Go. Slow down. Take your time.
Fresno State trying to put on a press here, and it's
the
broken
layup.
easily by Yap. And going to be a timeout here called by Wahlberg with 5:22 to go, and they will make it a full. So we'll take a break as well. Spartans with a 19-point lead, just 5:22 remaining here in San Jose. Well, the Spartans fans liking what they've seen here this afternoon. 78-59, San Jose State with a comfortable lead.
That's a president right there, baby. That's a president of school.
Well, I would say she's
El
probably also a
Presidente,
fan
as I
then.
call her.
She's also a fan.
She supports, man. President Madsen. She was, I went to actually Hawaii for the Hawaii Bowl. She was there. She's everywhere.
Well, you'll have to introduce me. I've not had
You
the
don't know
pleasure
her?
of meeting her, no.
That's my friend, man.
Well,
I got you.
All right. Well, I look forward to
Good
meeting her.
people, man, doing an excellent job.
So, Mark, I did look it up during the break. Donovan Yap, this is his career high, 25 points. He had a 23-point game back when he played for Fresno State against Morgan State. And not only is this a career high, believe it or not, it's only the 6th time in his career he's gotten over 20 points in a game.
So is that the Spartan season high, too?
Well, it's his – oh, no, the Spartans have had two 30-point games this season.
Okay.
Price loses it underneath.
See how the game changed once Yap came in?
And Uduje, I told you he gets going in the second half. He's up to 16 now. Collins the other way.
Keep running, keep running, keep running. Oh,
Viola able to get it across the timeline.
I thought he was. He shoot up.
Loses the basketball. Tremble, uncontested.
Give the ball to Yap.
Yep, gets trapped here at midcourt. Dangerous pass, but they work it to Duge yet again. And Price playing with those 4 fouls, able to come up with a block.
Oh, that wasn't a foul?
Last touch by Fresno State.
I think you're curious to see what this team would be like if there were a couple guys fouled out. I don't think you're going to get your wish. Not that you were wishing for it, but you were intrigued by it.
I'm definitely intrigued by. Yep.
He checked.
Oh!
He checked. Okay.
28 in the game for Yap. 5
Happy
of
senior
7
day.
from downtown.
You'll remember this. Tell his grandkids about it one day.
Tremble,
with a bad
Viola
toe.
with the rebound.
And he got a bad toe. He was questionable coming in. Get your 30. Get your 30. That's a foul.
That should have been a foul.
Told you they had a dinner reservation.
Rebound controlled by Collins.
No, the refs are doing a good job. I'm just messing with it.
Price. And the foul gets called here against Viola coming over. No, they're actually not going to call it on Viola. They're going to call the foul on Ngonga instead. But San Jose State with a 22-point lead as we hit the under 4 timeout. Spartans ready to put this one in the win column when we come back to San Jose. Welcome back to San Jose. The Spartans with a 22-point advantage here on Senior Day, closing out the regular season. By the way, Mark, did you know that a team cannot finish with less than 4 players? So if and they're not in danger of having more than 2 guys foul out, but should 3 guys foul out, they would have to forfeit.
You looked that up.
I did.
Where did you find that?
I did not have that off the top of my head. I just Googled college basketball 4 players.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think it's either way they'll be all right.
So going back to Yap.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
When's the last time we swept Fresno State?
I told you earlier.
I want you to remind me.
08-09.
Okay.
When Fresno State had PG-13.
I want the Fresno State people to hear it in the back. In case they missed it in the first half. I know they got their own broadcast down there.
It's been a minute.
Or maybe that's radio. And
yeah, that's radio.
Oh, so if they're watching the game, they're probably turning off the TV now because talking a little trash.
I think they turned off the TV when they saw us both wearing San Jose State apparel.
No, they're faithful. They got fans there that pretty loyal.
Well,
what else they going to do on a
there are
Saturday
better
afternoon?
days ahead. There are better days ahead. Vance Wahlberg is
he's a good coach.
He's had, and not only has he been successful on a lot of levels, he's been an institution in
Locally,
Fresno.
right? Great
coaching
local coach.
At the JUCO level there and the high school level there. Davis for Viola. And Viola goes into double figures now with 11.
Hey, I'm glad that I did read that the football rivalry will continue. That's important. To me, I think that's important for both schools, that even though there's going to be ones changing to a different conference.
Viola with the rejection.
We could save that debate for another day, but
Washington gets fouled. A chance for the end one. Foul's going to be on Collins.
But yeah, the football rivalry continues.
That's good news.
We're getting to the story time part of the show.
We are getting to the story time part of the show. I'm still waiting for. I don't think we're going to get two players to foul out here, but
It's not going to happen, bro. It's all right.
it's all right.
It's like you're waiting for some kind of weird eclipse or something like that. It's not going to happen.
Well, I just remember there was that game about 5-6 years ago, Alabama-Minnesota, when Alabama had to finish the game with 4 players, and they actually came back
Did they
on
win?
Minnesota. They did not, but they came back and made it interesting. Davis calls his own number. No, Doge gets the rebound.
Look, San Jose State's going to have some good vibes going into the Mountain West tournament. Team that, hey, we could go 3-0 against in Wyoming. Wyoming, I watched some video on to them today. It won't be easy, even though Fresno beat them in their last game to, I believe, end an 11-game losing streak. That's 30.
And Yep has a 30 spot.
Career high. Senior day, 30-piece. We'll take it.
Whistle and a foul here.
We beat Wyoming. We beat New Mexico before, right? We get them in the second round. Won't be easy, but if the Spartans go into the tournament relatively healthy, they're going to be competitive. We don't get blown out. Crazier things have happened. I've seen crazier things happen.
You get hot at the right
pay
time.
attention.
It's the
Just
madness
pay
of
attention.
And now Tim Miles is going to take Aduje out. Aduje gets a nice round of applause here from the faithful. Aduje finishes with 16 points, 3 boards,
But I'm going to call us
and
a
couple
dark
of
horse in
assists.
the Mountain West tournament.
Hey, just
No betting on it.
Just win the next. Win
No
the
betting
next.
on it.
Spartans able to break the
Hey,
press
you
behind
gotta
the
dunk
back.
that.
Davis to Viola.
Come on, big fella, dunk that now.
Davis only 3 points, but 7 assists this afternoon.
Oh. Try to throw a oop on him.
Davis crosses over Price, looking for another dime. Can't get it to go.
Okay.
Viola at the offensive board. Godarzi straightaway 3. And San Jose State, they put up 94 in the first meeting in double overtime against Fresno State.
So this has to be the most in regulation then,
They've
right?
got 92. I got to double check right now, Mr. Spears, to see what the season high for points is.
That was a foul, right?
They put up 117 against Lincoln
That don't count.
on
How about Division I?
February 9th. Cal Poly 107.
Okay.
In overtime, though.
All right.
So yeah, this is the season high in regulation for sure.
Yeah, that was bad. Thought he was dunking that for a second.
And unique. And the Spartans can dribble it out.
Nice win going into Vegas.
Good momentum. Good finish. And the Spartans win it 92-68 to improve to 14-18. And they break what has been a little bit of a confounding 3-game losing skid here in their home building. And they will get Wyoming coming up on Wednesday morning in Las Vegas. So, got to feel pretty good about the way you finish it up. Even if you're playing an underhanded team, Mark, you still got to go out and take care of your business, and they did that.
Great win. Shaky first half, with the exception to the last 5 minutes. kept it rolling in the second half. You know, Spartans fought through some injuries too. Good momentum going to the tournament, good vibes. I think we're a dark horse, man. Keep an eye on us.
Are you think enough of that to be going to Vegas?
I mean, if they had let me ride on the team jet, I'll go.
All right. Well, hey, my friend, it was good. Always good hanging with you. And we'll talk
Coach
soon.
Miles
You're
here
going to
to
give the
talk
mic to Coach Tim Miles. So Mark Spears taking off the headset. Coach Miles is taking a seat after the victory here.
I think kicking Mark Spears out of the seat's a pretty good deal, man. That means I maybe arrived.
Yeah, hey, how about 2 Hall of Famers in the house here tonight with Michelle getting
how cool
going
was
in
that?
as well.
How cool was that? That was great. Good win for the guys.
Yeah, you know, Coach, listen, you're playing a team that had 6 guys, so you're supposed to go out and be able to win, but what's supposed to happen doesn't always happen. And you know, Fresno State, they made it tough on you early.
Yeah, it was 5-on-5 as far as I saw all night, right? But I agree. I mean, I've been there shorthanded, and it's such a tough spot to be in. And Vance is doing everything he can to keep that thing, and it's just tough, man. Those kids get hurt, and stuff happens, and you're shorthanded, and it's hard to keep the spirits because this is a tough league, right? But you look at those 2 transfers from Fresno State, Rob Viola and Donovan Yap, they were pretty strong tonight for the Spartans, and that was fun to see.
And you talk about Yap, he puts up a 30-point game, 5 triples, and it's a career high. And not only is it a career high, the 30, Tim, but and that's counting what he did before he got to San Jose. But it's only the 6th time in his collegiate career that he's even gotten over 20.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you look at his numbers, the first 12 games to his numbers the last 20 games, they're remarkable how he's took some time to acclimate, but he has acclimated and really took on our system and really just been better and better, and he's playing about 80-85%.
Yeah, and he's still got that foot issue, but looks like he's fine going to Vegas. And Rob looked like he's trying to get his wind back a little bit, but what did you see out of him?
Yeah, same stuff. I'm just pray to God that toe is good and that knee doesn't swell, you know, and we have those guys because you can see how important they are to us.
And obviously you've beaten Wyoming twice. You know who you're playing. So first of all, how beneficial is that? Because sometimes you have to wait till the end. Is it good to know, hey, you knew before you even started today?
No, we thought we only had one scenario where like Nevada had to lose 3 of 4 or 4 or 5, and we had to win 4 or 5, and we'd be the 7th seed. That's the only way. Otherwise, it was us and Wyoming at 8 and 9 or flip-flop. We weren't going any lower. We weren't going any higher. So we've known that for a couple weeks. Wyoming's tough. Hard to beat a team 3 times. Sundance Wicks, I've known since he was a player at Northern. I coached against him as a Division II coach. That's how old I am, folks. And but you look at it, and it'll be good. And then we already know we have New Mexico no matter what. The winner has New Mexico. So it's nice knowing. New Mexico doesn't know who they play, but we know that if we play again, it's New Mexico after Wyoming. So good advantage to have.
You play the very first game of the entire tournament. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing?
Did it in the NCAA tournament in 2012, too, on CBS at Colorado State against Murray State. So those early morning games are fun. Let's get to it right away. Get a cup of coffee, get a workout, and let's go.
You got to like it, though. You get momentum going in. I mean, you've got your guys playing really well. And you didn't even – I mean, Duge had a nice game today, but you didn't really need him to have a huge game. Latrell, 7 assists, so that was impressive. But you had a couple of guys that were relatively quiet that this could have been even more one-sided.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've had 3 different guys get 30 points in a game this year, which is kind of unique, right? So I think it says a lot. Rob almost had 20 rebounds tonight. That's just a remarkable number, and I hope Coach Ken doesn't see that arm, or we'll see him on Spartan Saturdays for the football team.
Yeah, well, he may be looking. We'll see. But bottom line, Tim, you got to feel good. And the other thing is, you lost your last 3 in this building, so to be able to give the fans a win to close out.
Don't rub it in, Dave.
Huh?
Don't rub it in, Dave.
I'm telling you, it's a good thing. You got the win. People can go home happy.
No doubt. Yeah, you know. It's just good to have 9 guys, honestly. Like, this is the first time in a long time we've had 9. So I'm happy that we're there. I'm looking forward to building on it. Stay healthy, get ready for Wyoming, and get going on Wednesday.
All right, Coach. Good to see you. Best
you
of
very
luck,
much.
and we'll be
Great
watching
having
on
NBC
Wednesday.
do it again, and Mark, the great Mark Spears.
Yeah, there you go. And the record when we're on NBC is good, so that's been good. And the Spartans finished this one 92-68, a season high in conference play for points in regulation. So a fun one is the Spartans finished the regular season at 14-18, and they will head to Las Vegas to take on Wyoming at 11 a.m. for the very first game of the Mountain West Conference Tournament. Some of the final numbers for this one. Yap, his career high in scoring in any game, not just here at San Jose State, and he puts in 5 triples in the process, and Robert Viola, a season high with the 19 rebounds. So across the board, some solid efforts by the Spartans, and we'll see if they can carry that momentum with them to Sin City, where they will play on Wednesday. That's going to do it for us here in San Jose. For everybody with this NBC Sports Bay Area and Mountain West Network crew, especially the fantastic Hall of Famer Mark Spears, I'm Dave Benz saying so long. Thanks for watching here in San Jose, where the Spartans win it 92-68.